Welcome back. It's still Business Morning here on Channels Television. Let's discuss a bit of the corporate. Outside making money, their corporate social responsibility. We have two big companies this morning telling us about what they're doing and what they intend to do even more. They're planning for the Africa Social Impact Summit. And those companies are represented here by the Chief Executive Officer of Sterling One Foundation, Olakpeju Ibekwe. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. That's one big company. Then the second big company is represented by the Director of External Affairs and Social Performance, Seplat Energy, Choma Afe.
Hello.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good to have you both. It's a ladies' affair. Yeah, whenever we have ladies together, we always try to have as much fun as possible, even though we are working, and of course that is important. But so let's start with what this is about, Africa Social Impact Summit. So it suggests social corporate responsibility and all that. But let me start. Since your father, what is it about? What do you do? What have you been doing?
So the Africa Social Impact Summit is a platform curated and co-convened by Sterling One Foundation, the United Nations system in Nigeria, and the Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. And here's why. We have realized that the unique challenges facing not just Nigeria but the continent of Africa needs more than siloed responses. More than ever before, it's time for us to see how we can collaborate and leverage our different strengths, synergize, and see how we can scale impact significantly in view of the 2030 deadline of the Sustainable Development Goals. We already know as we speak we're about less than 6% on track, and there is still a lot of work to do. It is not just an issue of one organization working alone. That's why I'm really glad one of our partners is here. We have realized that it is time for us to see how we can work together. So this platform was midwifed in 2022, just after we started recovering from the very, very terrible impact COVID had, not just on Nigeria or Africa, but
globally,
across the globe. And that time caused different development organizations to start rethinking development assistance. So today you find that international development assistance has been reprioritized and the international funds are dwindling. So this platform started with about 8 partners in 2022. Today, we're proud to say that we have over 60 partners trying to see how we can work together to solve our common challenges. The platform seeks to achieve 3 main objectives. Number 1, catalyze multi-sectoral, multi-level partnerships across the public sector, the private sector, and the development ecosystem. It also seeks to attract impact investment into scalable solutions across critical sectors, and finally advocate for the right policies. And we are proud to say this, so far this platform has unlocked over $1 billion and has facilitated several partnerships, too numerous to count. So it is already delivering on its remit, and now more than ever we're inviting other private sector organizations to see how we can come on board. So the summit this year is happening in July 22 to 24. Just next week at the Eco Convention Center, Lagos, Nigeria, and we are coming with our unique, wonderful leading partners choosing to take the bullet to ensure that
I feel the fire. If it coming, do you feel it?
Oh, to see how we can scale impact significantly, because working alone is old memory.
So let me just ask you there, and I'm glad that you can proudly say you have scaled through, you have about 60 partners and everything, but I know that in the corporate world there's also competition. So this is one barrier that I think you would have had to deal with. How do you handle that and some other barriers in bringing sometimes companies in the same sector together?
So I would say that what we're trying to promote is co-opetition. No longer competition. Co-opetition. Companies are interested in ensuring they can continue delivering value to their shareholders. And that is the only way they can remain sustainable. However, when it comes to common issues, for example, security, if there's a security challenge in this environment, it doesn't respect whether you are competing organizations or whether you are private sector or public sector. Everyone is at risk. So why not come together to solve these common challenges? For example, education. It has gone beyond just sending children to school to become a security risk. Why don't we come together to solve this common challenge? Because if we do that together, we all benefit.
So Choma, education concerns Seplat. I think you're really interested in that.
Yes.
And I guess that's one of the hooks she used to catch you on.
Yes.
So tell us what you've been doing, what you hope to see being a part of this platform.
So I think in terms of capturing, we're willing. You didn't
have to be captured. Okay.
So I think the way we see education at Seplat is that I'll go back to our corporate strategy. When we revamped and reviewed our corporate strategy about 6 years ago, we looked at two key pillars. And those two key pillars was one, a sustainable business, building a sustainable business, and the second was delivering on energy transition, which is at the heart of our business. But sustainability and a sustainable business is at the core of our strategy, and we've unpacked it in a few ways. One of those ways is social development, and within social development, education is primary. So within our social development projects, we've got access to energy, we've got youth empowerment, we've got healthcare, and we've got education. And the way we see education at Seplat is that it's probably the most important investment we can have, because it cuts across everything we're interested in. She spoke about sustainability of businesses and going forward. As a nation, education is a priority, to me, number one priority, because it not only empowers for the future and gives the generation today what they can look forward to tomorrow, but ultimately it cuts across issues like security, it cuts across culture, religion. It's able to galvanize a whole system and build the future that Nigeria needs. And for Seplat, when we say that we want to be a sustainable business, without education, without the young people being truly empowered across the education ecosystem, one of the things Peju spoke about when she said coming together as various organizations, bringing your wealth of experiences, we found that with investing in education, we first started 12, 13 odd years ago saying we wanted to do the Pearls quiz, it's an academic quiz, because we looked at the intelligence level of children in our local communities. They are unable to pass exams to move forward. So that was just one. But when we started that, it galvanized other issues started coming up. You found out that the teachers needed help. You found out the curriculum needed to be worked on. You found out that the ministries of education in the various local governments that we went to needed help. They needed to
collaborate with the government.
Yes, we do collaborate with the government in the various areas of operation where we find that Edo State, Delta State, Imo State, and now we're going into Akwa Ibom State.
Can you give me like an example of one of those projects you have done?
Yeah, happily. So first of all, we have what we call the Pearls Quiz. The Pearls Quiz is targeted at secondary school children, senior secondary school children, Edo, Delta, Imo State. And it's an academic quiz that we start from assessments, tests, and so on in STEAM. The beauty about it is that everybody talks STEM. We believe in the creativity. So we actually do economics, there's English, and then we have all the other science subjects, right? And those quizzes are to task them academically. Then we have the Teachers Empowerment Program, STEP. As an outcome of what we saw in the Pearls Quiz, we realized we're teaching the children, but we're not helping the teachers. So we have a Teachers Empowerment Program, which is about 5 years old, 6 years old now, going to the 6th year. And so far we have done well over 1,500 individual teachers between Edo State and Delta State. We've now moved into Owerri.
Do you focus on the Niger Delta area?
Because of where we operate. Okay. So where we actually correct. So we reinvest in the communities where we have our operation for now. And that takes me back to why we're actually partnering with ACES, is because that platform is national. So the impact, the education, the intervention, the opportunities to share some of these things that we do nationally and potentially across Africa ACES gives us that platform.
You know, and I'm intrigued that you mentioned creativity, because being an oil and gas company, a lot of people will think, then you your education and empowerment, skills acquisition, would maybe focus more on oil and gas. But I guess that's not what you're doing.
No. So what we've decided, and we looked at how children are learning now. And when we went to school, everybody said STEM, and it's fine and it's great. I'm a graduate of English, so I'm clearly not that person. But you find that children learn by hands-on experience, and that's where the creativity spark comes through. And so one of the things we did in our local communities was the STEAM labs. So that sparks innovation. There are labs set up, beg your pardon, online access, robotics, painting, woodwork, all kinds of things that the children can develop solutions, real solutions for the challenges they experience within their environment. And so those STEAM labs and that learning, which is kind of where the world is going now, sparks the creativity. So even the science students suddenly have an interest in art, because it's another way of expressing themselves and expressing their view of the world at the end of the day.
All right, but you mentioned an amount of money that you have been able to unlock, and money is everybody's. And recently on the continent, not just in Nigeria, the talks about unlocking private capital is a big conversation that's going on. And for you to be able to do this in Nigeria, I guess that's applaudable. But then some will say, how impactful, has this huge capital that you have unlocked, how impactful has it been? Who feels it? Who's appreciating that impact of the capital?
Thank you very much. And impact is, it's Africa's social impact.
Exactly.
Anyway, so you find that there are different types of partnerships. I will give you one example of the capital that was unlocked just from last year's conversation. I call it a conversation because it is more than an event. It's an implementation platform, actually. So one of our partners, the ECOWAS Small Business Coalition, signed a $2 million contract, MOU, with InnoPower. And based on that partnership alone, 12,500 SMEs across West African states have benefited, with about 100,000 people within these countries. So we're not talking about just impact within Nigeria. We're talking about impact across the sub-region. That is one example of impact numbers. We also have a partnership with MTN Foundation and Private Sector Health Alliance of Nigeria. So interestingly, Private Sector Health Alliance of Nigeria and the MTN Foundation have started speaking, but in the 2023 edition of the conference, the health panel was supported, private sector support by MTN Foundation, and then Private Sector Health Alliance of Nigeria was the NGO partner, technical partner on that panel. After that conversation, they eventually did sign an MOU. And I say this because partnerships do not just happen. At times it takes time. Different organizations do their due diligence to be ensured, because partnerships have to be around shared values, shared goals, and then we find a point of alignment on, and then the implementation framework that works for both parties. And this takes some time. And that MOU was signed. MTN Foundation invested over 3 billion naira, and that has supported the renovation of over 50 primary healthcare centers across different states in Nigeria. I don't want to go into the details of how many women were able to give birth with light, without candles. I don't want to go into all those other details of how many children were immunized at those primary healthcare centers. The impact is massive.
And we're expecting more.
I've only given you 2 examples of partnerships. As we speak, Plan International and Sahara Group are in Kano setting up a platform for youth and girls from the Africa Social Impact Summit last year. So these impact stories are enormous. For us, it helps us know the reason why we have to continue and stay this course. because I assure you there are challenges. But it's these impact numbers let us know that if this platform does not exist, these partnerships would not have happened. This impact would not have happened. In some cases, in not all cases, in some cases, because some of these partners met themselves at ACES. Some of them are, both of them are actually partners on this platform.
So we're expecting more partnerships.
Of course, we are expecting more partnerships. It has basically like tripled or quadrupled over the years, and we're looking forward to more this year.
So what can we expect apart from the partnership? What's the lineup for? It's next week, yes?
Yes.
What's the lineup? What are we expecting? Yes, we're expecting more MOUs and partnerships. But what else?
Of course, we're expecting more financing. The theme is financing.
That's at the core of it.
Yes. The theme is financing for development. And that speaks to the impact you mentioned. It's not just financing, because we have also learned that you don't throw money at problems. At times you throw money at some problems, you worsen the problems. So we're expecting the public sector. We're expecting the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, who is our co-convener. We're expecting the representative of the United Nations system, who are also co-conveners. We're expecting the private sector. One of them is in this room with us right now. We're expecting philanthropists, and we're expecting the civil society in the room. Today, the Africa Social Impact Summit is the largest development platform that exists in West Africa that is hosted in Nigeria today. So everyone, private sector, public sector, development partner that is interested, and development finance institutions that are interested in working together with partners. The place to be is at the Africa Social Impact Summit, July 22 to 24 at the ECO Convention Center. We have pre-events, so we have bold action session on education, where we bring together commissioners of education from across different subnationals to work together with the private sector, where they are co-creating solutions and how they can support these subnationals. These are pre-events that are happening on the 21st. We also have a unique session called the Bold Actions on Health, where we bring together the public sector, the private sector, and the players within the sector, within Nigeria and across the continent, to also solve for financing, because health sector needs more and more financing in view of some of the things that happened last year. I don't want to go into the details of that. Then we have the main event. We have the workshop for the NGOs. We have Europe, Africa in financing opportunities, and we're proud to do that with the Impact Fund Denmark. We have excellent session for philanthropists. We're proud to do that with the Rockefeller Philanthropy Advisors, the Ford Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation. The list goes on. We also have our Atari Patrol of Strategic Partners, Coca-Cola. They've been with us from the very first year and have been consistent in prioritizing sustainability, access to clean water. We're really proud and humbled by the partners that we're working with, and we're looking forward to more, because there is no better time than now for us to see how we can work together like an indivisible army to attack the challenges that are facing us.
I can see that if we leave Olakpeju,
she's going to just keep going.
Let's just have final words from you, Choma. So what's the plan bringing, or what are you taking to the summit next week?
Okay, so we are leading the charge when it comes to education, because again, for us, that's our focus area. We do intervene in our communities in education, access to energy, youth empowerment, and healthcare. But for this summit, our focus is education, and what we hope will come out of this summit for us is new partnerships, but moving from conversations to action. Like she said. So one thing is to put your money on the table, but let your money speak. And it must speak in a way that is truly sustainable, truly driving impact, and going right down to the last man in the communities in Nigeria and hopefully across Africa.
We surely do need those real conversations and real action to make impact. Thank you so much, ladies.
Sure.
Whenever ladies are involved, you always expect to see results.
You didn't ask me for how people can join us.
Oh, okay. How can people join you?
So,
you've taken so much time.
So partners that are watching and want to join us can go to theimpactsummit.org.
Could you say that slowly?
theimpactsummit.org to register. Human resource professionals can also register their teams. We're having a unique session with Lagos Business Sustainability Center, and we have speakers including the African Finance Corporation speaking to us on how we can leverage ESG for
So you have to register before you can attend.
Yes, yes, you have to register. We have to get your records and be prepared to host you. So it's a really beautiful master class. And I think I'll stop there.
Okay, thank you. Olaseji, very passionate about what she's doing, the Chief Executive Officer of Sterling One Foundation, and also Choma Afe is the Director, External Affairs and Social Performance at Seplat Energy. Thank you,
so
lady.
much for having me. You're welcome.
And well done.
Thank you.